And today we are joined by the incomparable hometown diva, Christina Wells.
Good. That production got me in my feelings.
Good. You are. Everybody loves Christina Wells. This is not your first time in Outsmart magazine.
If she can do it, I can do it also.
And I love that part of the message. What I don't like is the other part of the message, which is congratulations for finding enough validity in yourself, even though you're fat. That's the part of the message I don't like. I don't want to be told, oh, Christina, you're so beautiful, even though you're fat. I can't believe you went on national television, even though you're fat. That's when I don't like the message.
Did you hear that kind of criticism?
So many times. I hear it all the time. And so does Lizzo. If you go into her stories, like, I'm a huge fan of Lizzo. If you go into her story, she talks about it aggressively. Like, what is it about saying, oh, it's so amazing that you're dancing on stage even though you're fat? I can't believe you're wearing booty shorts even though you're fat. Like, drop the even though you're fat.
So when people say that, how do you react to it?
Well,
How
I
do you
mean,
handle it?
I think number one, I don't think education can come from your mouth. I think it has to come from your actions. And so for me, I'm not going to sit and worry about let me educate every single person. You don't need to marginalize me just by the size of my body. I'm going to show you my abilities and my skill sets lie far outside of that. Like, my size is hidden in my label for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so same thing for Lizzo. You know what I mean? But that's where I very much relate to her on that point, because she talks about it a lot. Like, we don't need to look at her accomplishments in regards to her weight. We need to look at her accomplishments, her dancing, her style, her flagrance, like her attitude, her arrogance, even on its own.
Where does she get that confidence from?
Oh, well, the confidence, you know what I'm going to tell you? The number one thing people tell me is, how do you find your confidence? Your confidence has to come from within, baby. Like, when you're looking in that mirror, you don't need to be thinking, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? How's that social media post going to go? You need to say, I love me. I'm valuable. I'm worthy because I breathe air. Nothing else. That's it. That's it.
Thank you, guys.
Every morning, when you wake up.
We want to thank you. We'll be back with more Factor on.
If you have, and I say this to everyone, if you want to sing, paint, dance, it doesn't matter. And I'm 46. Like, all this has happened in the last 5 years. So just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Like, I always tell people, if you say yes to yourself, then other people are going to say yes to you too.
Yeah, that's good advice. A little bit of your song.
Oh, let's see. My favorite part of the whole song is the end when she says, so what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Thank you. The warm-ups worked.
Yeah, the traffic reporter Jane played Roxy in high school.
Are you serious?
College. Yeah.
Come on, Foxy Roxy Hart.
Yeah. I love the song. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both. Oh yes, they both reach for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. Oh yes, they both reach for the gun, for the gun.
Billy, right here, everybody. We got a Billy.
I love that song.
I'll let Jeff know.
Let him know. I could take over.
You can take over at any moment.
An understudy for Billy.
But you've been all like Syracuse. You've been traveling all around like Western New York,
Yes, north. We've been into the middle of America, of course. We've been in Kansas. I've been to, oh my gosh, Florida. I've been to New York State. We've been everywhere. So.
Okay, you went to Florida. I was gonna say, well, okay, you might not have brought the chilly weather.
No, I think I brought it with me. I brought my coat and I brought the chilly weather.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? We're going to talk more about, Chicago later on in the show, because you are going to be singing a song from your character, matron Mama Morton.
Yes.
Amazing. So we'll chat more about that. But you know what, Houston Life, we've been friends with you for a long time.
I know. Actually, this is the very first place that I ever did press. Like, this was my first press television appearance ever from America's Got Talent, was right here. Look, there, that's me. That's my very first time to do an interview on television. I was so nervous.
No.
Derek treated me like a piece of candy. He was just the sweetest. And yes, look, I wore my white, I love that dress. Look how cute. I feel proud of that Christina, because that Christina helped me get to right here. So I appreciate her.
Well, you know what? I watched that, and it was just like you were just as professional. I think you were just born to be a star, Christina. It's as simple as that.
You know what? I'll take that feather and I'll put it in my hat. Thank you.
And you were one of the first people that I interviewed on Houston Live.
Yeah, we met. There we are. Last summer, we were Discovery on the Green.
Pride on the Green. That was that was with the Kinsey Six, and you were singing.
Yes. We were doing disco right there. We were. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. But this is why we love you so much, because you're just always so much fun.
Oh.
But you haven't always been like a celebrity.
No.
And you got a later start, and I think a lot of people know, but before America's Got Talent.
I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for, 18 years now. And I have a lot of pride in my nursing career and in my history as a nurse and taking care of my patients. I used to joke and say that I only had 6 audience members a day because I only had 6 patients a day. And now I have thousands of audience members. So everyone in the audience is really my patients. I'm still nursing, just in a grander scale.
Oh, I love that because it really, you know what, you are taking care of
take
us.
care of everyone.
And you know who else you take care of? I mean, as if like touring, the whole of the United States and then also having been a nurse, but your babies, you have 2 babies.
Yes, well, they're not babies anymore. They're grown men. I
thought they
know.
never grew
Everyone
up.
says they're like your babies. I'm like, where are my babies? Actually, I'm a grandma now. My oldest son, Ethan, he's married. He has 2 beautiful children. My youngest son, Ty, like they have their own places and they live on their own. And that's what's actually made it possible for me to be able to tour because now I can like go out into the world because I don't know, I did the mom thing and now I'm trying to do the Christina thing.
You're like a cat with 9 lives.
Well, I mean, I told you earlier, second adulthood. This is my second adulthood. I've been an adult now, already 20-something years. Let's do it again.
Oh my gosh. And really, I mean, would you say America's Got Talent is what kicked it off for you? Fully?
Right before America's Got Talent, I had decided that I was going to give my singing a second chance in life. Like, I thought about it. My boys are going to grow up. They're going to graduate. They're going to leave because this is the only job that you get fired is motherhood. Like if you do a good job, you get fired if you're a good mom, right? Like your kids,
my gosh, yeah.
they grow up, they leave your house, and then there you are by yourself, and you have to find ways to fulfill your life. And so that's what this has been, is about just singing in the community theater. I'll just sing at a couple of shows here around town, and next thing you know, I'm on America's Got Talent, and Simon Cowell's telling me that I should be on stage, and yeah, that's what's made this all possible. So when I was on the show, I said to myself, if they're gonna give me a platform, I need to take it and run.
Oh my gosh, I mean, at what point did you think, I mean, you got the validation from Simon Cowell.
For sure.
To stand in front of him, how did you do that? How did you get so brave to put yourself up?
I don't know if it's bravery or craziness, no. No, I think one of the things that I've had to learn is that I want it more than I'm afraid of it. Ooh. I want my opportunities more than I'm afraid of my opportunities. I want to make music. I want to sing. I want to be on stage. Like, right there, that's one of my original songs, Ready or Not. And like, by saying yes to myself, I finally was able to get in front of Simon, and Simon said yes to me, and then the universe just kind of keeps saying yes, and I'm really grateful for that.
Oh my goodness, it's so inspiring. And then you just keep going. I feel like, is there nothing you can't do? I mean, let's just draw attention to what you're wearing right now.
Oh yes, what's February 1st?
Yes.
So I wanted something Valentine's inspired. So also red for Chicago, because a little red for Chicago. But yeah, today I designed this dress, and I made this dress just for today's episode.
Oh my gosh. You know, like, how did you, did you just sketch it, or have you actually?
Yeah, I draw it. I have like a sketching tablet that I use, and look, that's me sewing in my hotel rooms on tour.
Wait, you sew it too?
I do. My Husqvarna, my sewing machine, my followers know my Husqvarna. She comes with me on tour. She's my carry-on.
Oh wow.
And I make clothes.
With you. You've actually arrived.
I do. Yeah, I wore this coat today because it's so cold. Yeah, I love to sew. I think what happens with sewing is it's like my meditation. And so I started sewing because, to be very honest, I was too big for the clothes that were at stores. So I started making clothes so I would have things to wear, and now it's become like a signature about my outfits, and people like kind of look forward to seeing the things I'm going to wear and what I'm going to be doing. And so I launched Christina Wells Designs last year, which is my own custom clothing design company where I make custom clothes for other people. And I, of course, continue to make clothes for myself. So yeah, you know what, I will tell you, some things in life I feel are talents. Like I feel like my singing is a talent. Yeah. I feel like that's just something I have. But a lot of these other things are skills. They're things I decided I wanted to do, and I started working on them. If you want to know how I learned it, YouTube is the answer. Like I look things up. I just don't give up. I think relentless would be a good word to describe me, because I'm not going to give up until I have the thing that I want. I'm not going to give up. So there are some ugly clothes in my closet. And there are some ugly clothes in my closet.
Like those would be collector's items for sure. You know, that whole idea of not giving up. I mean, we did have you on the show during the pandemic. You came on, you zoomed in to Houston Live. And it was at the time that you had just wrapped playing Ursula. And I want to point out, you've got her with you.
I do have her with me. There's my Ursula backstage being ridiculous. You know what? I was on stage, but backstage I did just as much playing around in that dressing room. Oh, I love my Ursula. Being in The Little Mermaid at Theater Under the Stars was a dream come true, a dream role.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, that is just...
I love these videos that you guys are showing because they're some of my favorite memories of the show. So I love that. But yeah, I do have Ursula with me. I don't know if you can see, I have a tattoo of tentacles on my arm, and I say that she's holding on to me because we're never letting each other go. I was really sad when the show ended. For those of you who don't know, The Little Mermaid was at Theater Under the Stars in December of 2021, and we had 22 performances scheduled, but after 11 performances, COVID stole my sea witch away, and so yeah. But she will forever be with me, and just you wait. I'm sure I'll get to be Ursula again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, that happens, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Those roles come around
I'm
for
putting it
people.
down to the universe. You see it? Do you see it floating around me?
Yeah, put it out.
Uh-huh. And someday it's gonna happen.
It's so crazy. And Christina, what's incredible is you're a former registered nurse, and let's talk about the current reality for our healthcare workers, because you've been in the trenches with these people.
Yeah, I've been a nurse for 15 years, and I worked bedside every year that I was a nurse. And the very end, I started working at the desk more and doing more paperwork and kind of using my knowledge to help other nurses. But I will tell you, I gave my time, I gave my energy, but I never had to worry about giving my life. And that is the difference about what's happening right now, is that these healthcare workers who are out there without personal protective equipment or with it are truly concerned for their own lives and for the lives of their families. And so, I mean, I definitely have gone to work and had to come home and change in the garage and maybe been like, don't touch mommy, let me take a shower. But it was because I didn't want them to get something that might make them sick, not something that could possibly take my child or my family member's life.
Oh, this is the highlight of my time in Houston. That is the talented Christina Wells with the remix of her hit song, Ready or Not.
The powerhouse vocalist has been singing with pride all over H-Town, and after more than a year, we are so thrilled to welcome her back in studio today. Christina Wells, so good to see you. I want to stand up and cheer. First of all, why wasn't I invited to be an extra in that music video?
Because it makes real sense now. That was at Hamburger Mary's, so I should have been like, Derek, baby, come on in.
You know, I wondered. Okay, but catch us up on the last year and a half during the pandemic, because people obviously fell in love with you years ago on America's Got Talent.
Yes, I'm very grateful America's Got Talent set it off.
And you are a mom and a brand new grandmother, folks. You have a one-year-old grandson.
I do. It's been crazy. My boys now, my oldest son is 22 and married, and he has a little boy, he's 1. And then my youngest son is going to college. Like, she's a grandma. Can you even tell, though? You can't tell, right?
No, you
okay,
can't
good, because I'm moisturizing.
What do your kids think about your music video?
Oh, my kids have always been like, Mom, you got this. And they're not impressed. Like, it takes a lot to impress my children. So whenever I do something, they're like, okay, Mama. I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The boys said I'm doing good.
You're doing so good. Your website says all fabulous all the time. And when I got here, I was like, yes, she is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So true. Do you want to give a shout out to some of your coworkers who are watching right now?
So for those of you who don't know, I'm a registered nurse, and prior to COVID, I had quit working and I had started singing full time, which was like a dream. But of course, just like everybody else, COVID kind of took that away, the opportunity to perform. And I got a job. I work at Houston Physicians Hospital in Webster. I'm a case manager, and people are watching today on their computer. So hi, everybody. Hi, Thea. Hi, everyone. Mwah, mwah.
Awesome.
You're making them proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I get to still use my nursing. Like, I won't lie, during COVID, my singing career, you know, every events left, everything left, and I was
dried up.
It did, and I was, you know, crying like everybody else was, just like what to do. And my sister goes, well, you know, you have a bachelor's degree. You can go work as a nurse. And I was like, oh yeah.
I guess I could.
I forgot. So I started looking for a job again, and I didn't find a hospital that just would let me work there, or just, you know what I mean, be another employee. I found a place that really accepts me for who I am as a person completely. Like, I went in, I'm like, yes, I sing, I do all these things, but I'm very committed to my patients and my patient care. And so they love me as I am, and I appreciate that. And they give me space for things like this today to come and be here with you guys.
Well, we have to talk about your music career because you have a new single called Somebody.
Yes.
Okay, so did you write that during COVID?
No, actually, I wrote that song back in 2018. So I don't talk about it a ton, but I had gone through a major breakup in 2017. And, you know, it's always the way it is. When, you know how they say the triangle, you can't have all points, you know, music or money, finance, career, family, business. It can't all be going at the same time. And so I'm finally getting to sing. I'm on TV, and I'm really lonely, and I'm going through this major breakup. And I used to really struggle with the concept that if I didn't have someone who was in love with me, that I didn't have as much value as a person. And I would lay in bed, and I would literally say, say this to myself, like, just because I don't have somebody doesn't mean I don't have anybody. Like, people love me. I just need to remind myself, because you get down and you go into that negative mental spiral. And so this was something I would say to myself. And
this gave me chills.
But we have to be remember this.
We
You know, our inherent value is not based on whether or not we have a romantic-based relationship.
Welcome back to Houston Life. Now, she is no stranger to the stage and all that jazz. I am talking about my lovely co-host, Christina Wells, who is currently on tour with Chicago.
Yes, I play matron Mama Morton, the head of the Cook County Correctional Facility, and I'm excited to be back home in Houston with Theater Under the Stars.
This is so good. I mean, this role that you are playing, Queen Latifah played this
I
role.
know, right? I joke and say I'm just following behind her. Every role she has, because, you know, she did Ursula in the live of Little Mermaid, and she's Motormouth Maybelle and Hairspray.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm just walking right behind her. She's forging the way for me.
She's been on Houston Life as well.
Has she? Did she sit right
you,
here?
You
Look.
were on Houston Life before her, actually. Just fun fact. So yeah. She did have her own show.
Yeah, she did. She did for a little bit. I remember that, yeah.
I like that, the Christina Wells show. No, it's been so great. It's so awesome hanging out with you and having a whole lot of fun. But you've been working hard. You've been on tour with Chicago.
I have been.
You've been on tour, out since September, but you had a little break over Christmas.
Over the Christmas, yeah. And then we came back. We were in Colorado Springs. We were just in Chicago, and now we're here in Houston.
Chicago in Chicago.
Chicago in Chicago.
And then back to H-Town, hometown.
I'm at home. Yes,
Oh
I'm
my
at home
goodness.
at the Hobby Center.
Now, when I met you, you were on Houston Life. Surprise, surprise, you're always on Houston Life.
No, that's what I try to be.
You had that day, and I said to you, have you got anything coming up? And you were like, no. But you knew.
I did.
That you'd been
That
cast.
actually, it was June 25th, and I had just gotten the call that week that they wanted me to come on tour with Chicago. So yeah, it was a life-changing opportunity, and it's something after I did Ursula, I really wanted to figure out a way to keep doing shows. I think that's the hardest part about shows is they end.
Yeah.
And with tour, it doesn't end, so it's awesome.
It's going on and on and on. And last night, it was opening night in Houston.
Yes, it was amazing. It was so wonderful. My heart was filled with joy.
So you weren't nervous playing for your hometown?
No, I was terrified.
Okay, right.
No. Just because I do it doesn't mean I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I think that's a common misconception because I am pretty joyful, like a happy person. But just because I don't show that I'm afraid, like I'm nervous right now. Like,
What?
Just because I don't show it
Like
the
your
same
hands
way.
shaking?
Like my hands don't shake, but you know, inside. But
Yeah.
I always say that if you're not a little bit afraid when you're living your life, then are you really living it?
Wow.
So.
Yeah. Oh
You
my
gotta do
gosh.
things that challenge you. Look, this is
Love
sound
it.
check. Well, this is me with my cast. We do sound check every time we go into a new theater, and I act a fool. I'm sure you're shocked and surprised. But
That is
yes,
so fun. I mean, it
singing.
really is like, we were just, Lauren's at Cruiser.
Yeah.
She ran away with the circus, but this is kind of like being part of a circus tour when you're in
You know
a
what?
company of
Watching
actors.
those dancers, I like watching the Kuza dancers. I literally thought of our cast. They are so phenomenal. The athleticism they have on stage, and I love sharing my cast and crew. This is a behind-the-scenes video I did, just kind of showing everybody what it's like being on tour. I love to share like my journey because I feel like so many people have been on this journey with me since America's Got Talent, and even before here in Houston. And so I'm just super excited to look.
It's so,
That's my dressing room.
Look at you. I mean, you just have so much fun. You have so much joy, and you spread so much joy. And I do love that you said, like, you are sometimes scared. It's that feel the fear and do it anyway.
I'm afraid, and
What's your secret to like following your dreams at any age and knowing that it's just never too late to go for it?
Well, I think you got to say yes to yourself. I think another thing is like, you know, right now on TikTok, they have this thing where they keep saying, be delusional, dream delusional. Like I dreamt of singing Dream Girls for the world. And I sang it for 16 million people on America's Got Talent live on television.
Wow.
So if someone would have talked to me as a child, they'd have been like, I don't know if that's going to happen for you, honey. But it did. Or
And then
like,
when you were working as a nurse and you're like, I'm going to do, you know, like even when you had a full career, you know, that most people, like that is a brilliant career. And you would say, well, you're going to have a whole nother career.
You know what? I had a teacher in high school. His name was Mr. Jerry Roberts. And he used to talk about having been different things before he was a teacher. And I remember thinking, oh, you don't have to pick one thing once you become an adult. You can do different things. I never knew that. And so I've really lived my life that way. I've just, if I want to do something, like, why can't I try to do it? And if I don't do it well, okay. Maybe I'll keep trying, and maybe it's not the thing for me, but at least I tried.
Wow. And now it's singing.
And now it's singing for all the people across the United States.
Oh my goodness.
And right now,
And
in
right
my
now?
city, Houston.
Are we ready for this? Because I think we have been hanging out to hear you sing. Yes, Christina Wells, get ready to sing for us.